Hi, I'm Olivia, and I'm here to interview Great Grandpa Zelly. Hi, it's very nice to see you here today.
Well, the weather's fine here, isn't it? Nice being
Yes.
outdoors here, yes.
So, could I ask you a few questions?
Well, you sure can.
Where and when were you born?
I was born November 21st, 1932.
Where were you born?
I was born in a little town called Ankeny, Iowa.
Cool. How did you entertain yourself when you were younger?
Well, when we were young, we didn't have no televisions. We used to listen to the radio, and then in the evening, the families would sit down sometimes and play games, uh, things like that, and work. But we went to bed quite early because we had no electricity. And when it got dark, we went to bed. If it got dark at 9 o'clock, the family went to bed.
Okay. How did you celebrate holidays when you were younger?
Probably pretty much the same way you do today. We may have a picnic. There'll be some fireworks we'd go look at. Maybe we'd go to a lake somewhere and swim. We didn't have pools or anything then, but we'd have lakes and everybody would go and we'd have a picnic and the neighbors would come and we'd all have a get together.
How was school different back when you were a child compared to now?
Well, the times have changed so much since I was a child. For instance, when I was a little child, like you, I used to have to walk to school.
Wow.
And I remember one time it snowed, and I was walking to school, and I got stuck in the snow with my feet. And my boots got stuck, and the teacher had to come out and get me, help me into school. That school was just one room, and in that room there was 1st through 8th grade. We didn't have no preschool and no kindergarten in them days. And each class had a row. There was one teacher, and she would teach that whole room. And the 1st grade would be taught for a while. Then we'd have to study. Then the 2nd grade would be taught to read and write and do their arithmetic and so forth. That's how we did it.
Wow. What did you want to be when you were growing up?
Well, when I was a little boy,
How
I
did you
wanted to be a
meet
cowboy.
Grandma?
Well, after I got out of the Air Force, I was stationed in Wichita, Kansas. And that's where she lived, in Wichita, Kansas. And she worked in a restaurant.
My God.
And I used to go there and eat. And that's where I met her. And we started dating and eventually got married.
Cool. Did you have any pets when you were growing up?
Have any what?
Pets.
Oh, yes. We had, I lived on a farm. And we had a dog. One of our dogs' name was Tip. And he was a collie. And he just loved our family. He would, if a stranger came in a car, Tip would not let them get out of the car until we told him to let them out. He kept them in the car, growling at them. He really protected his family. And we've had other pets. We had a Weimaraner dog once. That was when we lived in Clare, and I worked for the case company then. And that dog loved the family. And one time we went to a gas station, and the gas station man reached in the back seat to give your Grandma Karen, she was just a little girl then, a sucker, and the dog grabbed his arm. Didn't bite him, just grabbed it and growled. He didn't want anybody reaching for those kids. So I had a lot of pets, and I had a cat since I lived in this house named Come Here. You remember Come Here?
Yes.
Yeah, he was a wonderful cat. But we miss all of our pets that we don't have anymore.
What was your favorite restaurant when you were younger?
Well, when we were younger, we just took a trip. We carried our food in the car, and sandwiches and so forth. So we didn't go to restaurants that much.
Okay. What was your hobby when you were young?
Well, I used to work on a farm. We had to work all the time. And I liked to playing baseball as a youngster. And I liked to hunt. Those two things. And I used to like to fish a lot. My brother, Uncle Larry, and I would go fishing because we lived up north at Traverse City, and we lived right near a lake, and we could go fishing. And that was pretty much a hobby, along with staying real busy on the farm.
Okay. what are some big events that happened on the news when you were growing up? And did any big events happen? For example, were you in a war?
Well, probably the biggest event that happened in my lifetime happened in December 7th, 1941, when the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor and we became into World War II. I was young then. I was probably, in 1941, I'd have been about 8, 9 years old.
Wow.
The next big event in my life, as far as that was along those lines, would be in the Korean War, and I went to the Air Force, and I went to Korea and served my country.
What are some exciting places you've gone in your life? Which was your favorite and why?
Well, I visited a lot of places in my life. I have been to Japan and China and Australia. I've been to England, all over Europe. And the favorite place I was ever at was the United States.
Thank you for answering these questions for me, Grandpa. It was a pleasure to be here with you.
Are you all finished already?
Yep.
I didn't even get to tell you about all the schools I went to. I went to 8 different schools.
Whoa.
While I was growing up. And I thought that somebody said, well, that's just terrible. But it was good.
Why did
I
you
liked it.
go to so many different schools?
Well, my father was a salesman, and he traveled around a lot. And economic times were hard, and he would go from, for instance, when I lived in Minnesota, we went from Minnesota to Detroit because he could work for the automobiles business, and he worked there. And then he went as a manager for automobiles dealerships, and we would have to move to different towns. And in the moving process, I went to 8 different schools through the 12th grade. It was and it was good because I met a lot of people, and I still know a lot of the people that I went to different schools with.
It was great having you here.
Well, I'm here. I live here.